Welcome back, you guys. Here we are, and I'm very intrigued by the Gucci snake. I've been thinking about the Gucci snake for about, I don't know, 2 or 3 months, and I've been trying to perfect that, but I want to kind of emulate it. I couldn't figure out how to do it because, I mean, I think I'm a good drawer, but my hands aren't exactly like their hands, and I want to get into more textile designs and doing more courses on this YouTube channel, at least show you guys how I would do it. Now, this is part of a pack. I do include whatever I make on YouTube onto my Patreon account, so you guys can pick that up whenever you want it. There will be a pack of different poses of this snake that you guys can use in your own t-shirt shops. And of course, whatever I make is going to be kind of like template based here, so you guys can use it whenever and however you want to. But we're gonna go ahead and get into this. So the things that I've been seeing with the Gucci snake was more of like a brush stroke. So I'm gonna go ahead and use a good brush. But what we want to do is we want to make sure that the brush that we have is on a very smooth, high fidelity. So I don't want to put it at the very tip of the smoothness, but I want to make sure that it's like right here and we can hit OK. And then on top of that, we need to use a touch calligraphic brush when we draw with our snake. So the poses that we're going to use need to emulate a snake, and a snake's body really isn't just one stroke. I mean, you can do it one stroke, but I just want to use a nice skinny to fat stroke here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn on our guides, our grid and our guides actually, and I'm gonna set up a midpoint real quick so I know where I'm going with this as far as like making an even design. I wanna lock that layer down too, and then I'm just gonna make a new layer real quick and we're gonna go from here. So I wanna start here at the bottom, and I wanna curve out to the side, bring it in like this. And because we got that high fidelity on, I know it looks like I'm making mistakes right now, but whenever I stop, the lines will smooth itself out. So I meant to tell you guys that Illustrator is like that, where it can turn the worst illustrators into really good illustrators, right? You don't always have to know how to draw in Illustrator to be a good illustrator. So I'm not sure if you guys saw that, but I'm gonna make another one real quick so you guys can see that if we go through here and the line just isn't straight, it'll straighten itself up. See, like I'm saying here, like these strokes just were not that straight, but as I went, it smoothed itself out. So I'm gonna try again real quick. I just didn't like that. We'll go like this. As a matter of fact, we're gonna get a little crazy here. I'll go something a little bit like this. And yeah, I think this one looks really good. So I'm gonna click on this one, and I wanna make a copy of it. So I'm gonna hit Command C, and then on a new layer, I wanna hit Command F to paste it in front. Then we're gonna lock down the new layer, but on this old layer, I just want to go ahead and bring out the strokes to maybe, I don't know, 3 point. I think 3 point looks pretty good. We're gonna lock that down. So now on a new layer, I'm just gonna go ahead and create my pattern. Now I studied the Gucci pattern and I want to emulate it, but I don't want to use theirs exactly. But I have seen a nice little pattern that they've been using and it's been working out for them. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to use that, but we're gonna make it our own. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a square real quick right here. Then I want to take the select tool and then just kind of duplicate that, holding down Alt Option and just moving it over. And I want to do it one more time, right? Now all this becomes like the red layer. We'll use this red here. Matter of fact, we could probably darken this up just a little bit, but we're gonna use this for right now. I'm gonna take this one right here and I'm gonna move it over to the right. And we're going to turn this one a stone color. And we're going to take this one and we're going to make it at least this, I think a black, not too much of a black, but something like this. And we're going to go back to this stone color and we're going to use this one for this right here. Now it's on the grid, and when you look at it, it's kind of like you can see the pattern, right? So you got these 3 squares right here, and you have this square right here, and this square right here, and this square, and it kind of like alternates itself. But then when we copy all of this and make a copy like this, you know, move it over like this, it just repeats itself. What we need to do, however, is kind of bring this down some. So I'm going to bring this down maybe like 1/4 of an inch. But we're going to bring this one down to the 3 and bring it up 1/4 of an inch like this. So it's a nice rectangle. Now up under this, I want to go ahead and make a rectangle that's big enough that goes from 1 to 3 like that, you know, and we want to put that on that black so it matches, and this will become a stroke for that entire line. So we'll just bring this over here and line it up like that. And this is kind of where the magic happens. We're gonna make sure that we put both of these into like one layer real quick, and we'll call this pattern. Matter of fact, we'll call this effect, and we'll call this body. So like I said, this is where all the fun happens. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go into our brushes, and we're gonna take the pattern and we're gonna bring it into the brush layer. And we wanna make a new pattern brush and hit OK. So now that we got this pattern brush like ready to go, all we need to do is just hit the scale down and bring this to pressure. And the reason why is because we use the pressure brush to make the actual body of the snake, and we made a copy of the body to make the actual effect. If we were to put the pattern on the effect, it would be pretty linear and it wouldn't taper off from the tail like we would want it to. So we're gonna make sure that we put this on pressure, and we wanna set the pressure to 1. Now we can hit OK, and we can apply that brush to the snake. So let's go ahead and lock down this pattern layer and bring up the effect layer. If I click on this target right here and we go into brushes, I can click on this brush right here and it'll bring up this actual pattern. All we would have to do is just set the strokes to maybe like 0.25%. Now all I gotta do is kind of just make a snake head real quick. I brought in a graphic that I can trace over, and I'm just gonna go ahead and go from there with that. Snake heads are fairly easy. I just want to make a very accurate snake head real quick so we can use this in design. And that looks good, but maybe on this body I can add like a half of a point of stroke to it just to make it even out. Let's go 3.25 instead. Let's just say we wanted to change the colors on this snake, right? I can click on the effect, go into object, path, and then outline the strokes. Now, if I was to go into the pattern and I want to change up like the colors or something like that, I can use the magic wand tool to kind of click on one of these colors. I'm thinking maybe I don't like the red here. And we can turn it maybe like, I don't know, this green here. And we can turn this into maybe like a gold. And we get kind of like this Jamaican pattern, which looks really good, by the way. And I can do the same thing for the head. All I have to do is just select out this like pattern and then put it into the swatches. Click on the head color and click on that swatch and we'll get the exact same thing. But yeah, you guys, that's basically it. I want to test it out on a color real quick. Maybe I can just put on a background color real quick, something like this maybe. And we can put it on, I don't know, this blue right here. Actually, you know what? I like the way this looks. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on this green. I'm gonna bring it back to that color that we had. And put this on that stone like this. And kind of look at it. As a matter of fact, we should probably use this stone instead. And that looks really cool. Maybe what I can do is I can just take this tongue, hit Command C and hit Command F, and then we can turn that one like red real quick. But the one up under it we can just kind of scale up. And we get this kind of like effect right here, which looks really good, by the way. I'm thinking we can put text behind this too. So let's just add like a circle real quick, something like this here. We can put the word snake on here and just kind of scale that up just to get an effect like this, and then we can do other things, you know. The possibilities just kind of get limitless, you know what I mean? And that looks pretty cool right there. So now we can just do some different things, you know. We can probably throw in maybe like a circle down here at the bottom, and then we can move this to the other side, and we can put like year and dates and establishments and stuff like that right there. So we can say something like, I don't know, we can put it on type tool that says EST on one side and then 89 on the other. Maybe let's just see this graphic on like a yellow. which looks really good, or you know, something that's off yellow. Hey, but with that being said, you guys, that's technically it. So this will be included in the pack of graphics that I've already created. You guys can pick this graphic, and the pack up on Patreon is there for you guys, so you can get it whenever you want to. I want to say thank you guys for supporting my channel. But yeah, with that being said, I have to get up out of here. So stay amazing, stay creative, above all else, stay awesome.